In John 19, chapter 30, it reads like this. So when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished." And bowing his head, he gave up his spirit. For the time that is ours to share together today, I like to talk from the subject, how to handle the assignment of affliction. How to handle the assignment of affliction. Everyone in this room is quite familiar with the classroom setting. Whether it be elementary, middle school, or high school, we all have experience with the classroom setting. In the classroom setting, when you come in on that first day, the teacher introduces herself, introduces what the class is going to be about, but then she shares with us this piece of paper called the syllabus. This syllabus gives us all of the assignments that will be due for the class. Every assignment that you may have to complete in the class in order to gain your credit is on the syllabus. There is daily assignments on the syllabus. There is tests on the syllabus. There are major quizzes on the syllabus. Every assignment that you have to complete for that class is on the syllabus. Now, if we be honest, when we read that syllabus, when we look at the assignments, there are some assignments that we get excited about. There are some assignments that we look at and say, oh, this is going to be pretty easy. There are some assignments, such as group assignments, that we look forward to because we get to work with people that we like. But then every syllabus has some assignments that you don't want to do. Every syllabus has an assignment that you don't want to complete. There's a difficulty in the assignment that you just don't want to do. For me, it was always the research paper, because the research paper was at least 5 to 6 pages, and I just didn't want to take time to do the assignment. And my brothers and sisters, if you be honest, God has given us a syllabus in our life, and every now and then he gives us some assignments that we just don't want to do. He gives us some places that we just don't want to go. And if you be like Jonah, you understand that God will create situations in your life that even if you tell him no, those situations will have you say yes to God even when you don't want to do the assignment. I thought I was preaching to some believers who have completed some assignments in the room. If you are a believer, you understand that every assignment is not a likable assignment. And such is the discourse when we arrive in John chapter 19 verse 30. Jesus has to deal with the assignment of affliction. Not only is he dealing with the assignment of affliction, but he's dealing with the assignment of crucifixion. And my brothers and sisters, this just might be the most important assignment that Jesus has. He had an assignment to come to the earth. He had an assignment to turn water into wine. He had an assignment to heal Jairus' daughter. He had an assignment to raise Lazarus from the dead. He had an assignment to save your soul and mine. But this assignment that Jesus has to approach now is not an easy assignment. It's not an assignment that he does with ease. It's an assignment that he really wishes could pass him. You don't believe me? He's in the Garden of Gethsemane, and when he's in the Garden of Gethsemane, he's praying to God, and he says, Father, if it be any other way that this cup can pass me, he said, watch this, nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. There are some assignments that you have in your life that you just don't want to do. Can I give you a couple of points out of the text of John 19 to help us deal with these assignments that we don't want to do? The first thing that I see is when dealing with the assignment of affliction, we must choose endurance over escape. Friends, Jesus stayed until the assignment was finished. And that's some of our problems right now. We quit too early. Your breakthrough is right beyond the pain. But if you quit before you get to it, you'll miss the whole purpose of why you had to go through the assignment. And can I tell you something? Whenever you make a bad grade on the assignment, there's an opportunity for you to redo. But until you get the right grade, your assignment is still incomplete. Here we are. Jesus says, you've got to stick this thing out. Because when you're dealing with the assignment of affliction, it's easy to quit when it gets rough. It's easy to quit when it gets tough. It's easy to quit when the road gets rough. But I've come to encourage you that if you just hang on in there, in the end, you will get some victory. I got text to back me up. The Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord. You've been reading your Bible. It says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them out of them all. I just wish I had some Bible readers in the room. Here it is. He says, handle the affliction. Affliction is not the signal to abandon the assignment. It is often the evidence that you are in the middle of your assignment. You don't leave the exam early just because the questions are hard. You stay in your seat until the test is complete. My brothers and sisters, we've got to run this race with endurance. The race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. Point number 2, lest I hold you too long, when dealing with the assignment of affliction, we must pursue purpose over our pain. Jesus didn't come in confusion. He didn't endure the cross with confusion. Jesus knew what the purpose of the cross was. And so he says, I know why I am here. And so here it is, Jesus on that cross, hanging, suffering. Can you see it? Can you tap into your imagination and see Jesus' blood dripping down his face? Can you see Jesus' nails in his hand? Can you see Jesus' nails in his feet? But yet he pushes himself up on that nail to speak these words, tetelestai. One word in the Greek, 3 words in the English, which means it is finished. I wish I had some preachers in here who can help me. He said, it is finished. What is that tetelestai? What is he talking about? It is finished. Y'all listen, tetelestai was used in 3 different forms. Number 1, it was used when an artist got through with a painting. They got through with a masterpiece and they said, tetelestai. It is finished. It was used when somebody was working off a debt that they owed. And once they did all of the work and the debt was complete, tetelestai. It is finished. And then lastly, it was used in commerce. Whenever you would purchase something and you would get your receipt, whenever you would pay it in full, it would say, tetelestai. It is finished. Paid in full. That's what the text says. Paid in full. And my brothers and my sisters, aren't you glad this morning, this afternoon, tonight, that God stepped in where you should have been? We should have been on the right and the left like the thieves. But thanks be unto God, tetelestai. It is finished. I'm almost done. I promise you, I'm almost done. Friends, you can endure affliction when you understand what you're going through. When you know your suffering has a purpose. When you know God assigned it and this is not just random chaos. It changes how you carry your cross. You may not know every detail of why, but you can trust the one who designed the syllabus. I'm about to get out of here. Point number 3 is, when dealing with the assignment of affliction, we must use our voice over choosing silence. You've got to use the voice God gave you. Jesus didn't whimper on the cross. He spoke with whatever breath remained in his body, lifted his voice and declared, it is finished. He named what had happened. He claimed the victory even in the moment of his greatest suffering. The affliction did not have the last word, but he did. The lesson there is that power in declaring what God is doing even while you're still in the midst of it. You don't have to wait until you're out of the valley to open your mouth. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is in the middle of your affliction, lift up your voice and say, this too shall pass. God is not done. I will survive this storm. I don't know about you, my brothers and sisters, but I'm so glad that God has given me strength to go through my affliction moments. True Light, I'm done with y'all tonight. I got to quit somewhere. But there's a story of a man. His daddy and his mother Hattie Morgan and Tommy Morgan. Morgan tells the story that his mama had ended up getting a subpoena in the mail. The subpoena in the mail was for a piece of property that had got deranged. And so they called her in, had put a fine to the ticket. And she was mad, upset, called the courthouse, trying to figure out why she had to come to court for this ticket. Lo and behold, she goes to court anyway. She gets to court, the judge says, hello, how are you? She says, are you Hattie Morgan? She said, yes, I'm Hattie Morgan. He says, well, that's not the name that I see on the paper. He says, who is Tommy Morgan? She said, Tommy Morgan is my husband. She said, well, where is Tommy Morgan? He said, Tommy Morgan is dead. And she said, and the judge looked at the woman and said, well, I can't charge you with the debt of a dead man. And my brothers and my sisters, I just come to tell you that we've got a dead man who paid our debt. And his name is Jesus. And I'm so glad tonight that he finished the assignment. Because he finished the assignment, I can have hope for tomorrow. Because he finished the assignment, I can go to Jesus anytime that I need. I've got to get out of here, my brothers and my sisters. But because he finished the assignment, there is a fountain filled with blood drawing from Emmanuel's veins. Sinners plunge beneath thy flood, removes all guilt and stain. Because he finished the assignment, all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Because he finished the assignment, I have hope for tomorrow. Is there anybody in here glad that he finished the assignment? I'm so glad that he finished the assignment. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all of my fear is gone. I've got to go. I'm sorry if I held you too long, but I'm just excited that it is finished. It is finished. Come what may, from day to day, it is finished. Clap your hands if you believe that it's finished